Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a seriously thrilling journey, going straight from simple parlor magic right into applied mechanics. We're going to be breaking down this absolutely fascinating experiment originally showcased by the DIY Science Lab, showing you exactly how they launch a paper rocket right at home. If you're into fluid dynamics and propulsion and, you like seeing it broken down into clear, structured steps, you are in exactly the right place. So get ready, because we're about to turn your hallway into a literal active launch pad. Now you might be wondering, how do everyday items become rocket fuel? I know, it totally sounds like a trick question, right? When we think of rockets, we usually picture those massive industrial tanks filled with highly volatile liquid propellants. But what we're going to unpack today is how incredibly simple household items are about to demonstrate some serious scientific magic. I mean, we aren't going to need fire and we're not going to need dangerous chemicals. We are just going to harness the invisible power right in front of us.
Okay, let's dive into this. The entire foundation of this DIY Science Lab experiment relies on an amazingly simple setup: a balloon plus a straw. Yep, that's the whole shebang. By doing a quick dry run where you focus on tightly sealing a balloon to a straw, you're actually constructing a miniature propulsion system. Think of it like a giant puzzle where these two simple pieces create a controllable jet of air. Instead of the air just rapidly sputtering out everywhere in all directions, that tight seal basically acts as a nozzle. It increases the velocity of the escaping air and channels all that chaotic pressure into one focused, powerful stream. And that precise, controllable jet, well, that is exactly what successfully propels a folded paper rocket right down your hallway.
Safety first for Logjus. Now, while DIY science is incredibly fun, real scientists always prepare their environment safely. So here's our pre-flight safety checklist straight from the lab. First up, always keep your hands clear of the launch mechanism when releasing the air. Second, you gotta wear eye protection. Absolutely crucial. Third, make sure you operate in an open area, which is exactly why a long hallway is perfect for this. And finally, always aim away from faces. Actually, scratch that, aim away from faces and preferably away from any fragile family heirlooms while you're at it. Taking this seriously helps us avoid any Houston we have a problem moments with rogue paper rockets for sure.
Section 2. Science of Newtonian Thrust. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we define this. Newtonian thrust might sound super intimidating, but honestly, it's simply Newton's third law in action right in your living room. You know the one, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It's essentially the force generated when stored energy is converted into a directional jet propelling an object in the opposite direction. So in the context of our experiment, that balloon full of trapped air, that is your accessible everyday fuel tank. That's your stored energy, literally just waiting for the opportunity to be unleashed.
The second you release that balloon, the static, trapped air actively transforms into kinetic energy. It's wild to think about, but as it escapes, it transfers its momentum straight to the folded paper rocket resting on the launch apparatus. And that is what pushes the rocket forward through the air. It brilliantly bridges the gap between invisible potential energy and high-velocity motion. I love this because it brings these really complex physics concepts right down to earth.
Section 3. Customize and measure distance. Let's move to and see how this builds, because as the DIY Science Lab invites us to do, you shouldn't just launch one rocket and call it a day. We want to build a tracking table to test variables of rocket shape against the distance flown. For instance, does a wider rocket suffer from too much aerodynamic drag compared to a narrow one? Or what if you change the fin shape to alter the stabilization? By tracking these metrics and measuring the precise distances they travel down your hallway, you aren't just playing around anymore. You are practicing authentic data collection and trajectory optimization. It really fuels that scientific curiosity.
Which leads us to our final question. What shape will conquer the aerodynamics of your hallway to fly the furthest? You've got the blueprints, you've got the propulsion system, and you've got the physics down. So the only thing left to do is put these concepts to the test and start building. Happy launching, and keep exploring.